Okay, very good. So what we've done is we've developed a patented closed loop system that transforms the equestrian stool waste into high performance horse bedding. We produce a organic matter biofertilizer, and we can actually reclaim around 700,000 gallons of water through our process. This process has been proven. We've had field trials in Wellington. We have secured feedstock, we have customer contracts, and we're ready to launch in two places, Palm Beach County, Florida, and Ocala, Florida. And so what we're here today is just to talk about potential land opportunities and how the Ad Council can support us, and where do we fit within the model that we are trying to accomplish. On the global horse industry, there are 52 million horses in the world, 8 million in North America, and each horse generates approximately 1 ton of stall residual waste every single month. And there are about 3 million horses in America that are stalled on a daily basis. They're mainly the high-end show horses, hunter jumper, dressage, and obviously the race community. What's happening is there's poor disposal of that amount of waste, which has led to leaching, methane off-gassing, pollution that's poisoning our land, our fish, and the air that we breathe. So our vision is to build regional biomass recycling centers of excellence to educate, administer, and grow a healthy planet. In Palm Beach County, it's one of the most influential equestrian regions in North America. There's approximately 25,000 stabled horses during the season, November to May, and that generates over 200,000 tons of waste in Palm Beach County alone. And unfortunately, a lot of that waste is being inadequately disposed of each year because there's just too much of it. So High Point aims to develop a pilot project in Palm Beach, focusing on managing just a small portion of that waste, 18,000 tons, through recycling and reuse locally, and I'll explain that process as we go through. We are a patented solution worldwide, and we have a US patent. It's a 6-step process. It's a biosecure process. It's indoors, it's covered, it's odor controlled, which resolves many of the waste, the public's issues around horse waste and disposal. We protect food and crop security from aerosol drift and manure waste, and we also have enhanced lab testing on everything we do once we're operational. This small initial build will produce 400,000 bags of shavings and 4,000 tons of biofertilizer. The pilot can even be relocated if the land is not used for a long-term project, or we can expand it once proven. The Ad Council's recommendation would help us provide support for this model on around 1 to 5 acres of light industrial or special ag use at a fair to low price. And we have 5 possible locations that we've been discussing with Director Laura Beebe and with Lisa O'Mara. And I'm sure there may be other options where you can suggest places that we can fit that work within the ag community and the equestrian community. So we get this question asked a lot, and I think it's a really interesting, the misconceptions of our process versus existing processes that are out in Wellington and West Palm Beach that are causing some stress on the community. So we're not a composting site, we're not a transfer station, we are an ag process to recycle shavings back into reusable shavings, and the manure portion is put in a bioreactor undercover to make the fertilizer. We do not produce external dust, noise, smell, unlike obviously transfer station, landfill, and composting today. We do not accept rotting manure. We do not store anything outside. We do not dump onto the land. And any of transportation of trucks to our site must be covered. So there will be no aerosol drift or manure spilled on the ground as it comes to our facility. A couple of other things we do not discharge any water, leachate onto the ground, water table, canals. We actually remove the methane from off-gassing into the air, where unfortunately transfer stations and compost sites contribute to pollution. As we said, we only use licensed haulers, and our daily traffic count would only be between 2 and 6 trucks for this small site per day. And we're not an idea. This is not just a concept. All the equipment has been proven in our industry to recycle, separate, sterilize biosolids to an inert safe state for reuse. So therefore, what are we? We're an enclosed biosecure facility instead of open sites that have been driving a lot of the Wellington and Palm Beach County complaints. Workflow is quick. We process all of one day's delivery, 50 tons of waste per day in 24 hours, so there's no waste kept on site. Bedding is shipped out quickly, directly back to the same farms that gave us the waste. And our biofertilizer is mixed with biochar to give back to the agricultural community at a lower price than what they're getting today. On top of that, they can start to reduce chemical fertilizers. We hire non-skilled staff, up to 10 hires per site. We support local trade, we hire locally, and we sell locally. We reduce waste, we clean up canals, reduce emissions, and support the ag community by taking this waste off the ground, processing it, recycling every single piece of that wood fiber, manure, and water, and we recycle it and reuse it back into the community. We already had an approved design and community support in West Palm Beach. Unfortunately, it's a site which just got too expensive to build for our pilot project. We have 5 sort of locations we've looked at. There's a small 1-acre piece on 20 Mile Bend. Pahokee Airport has a little bit of land that we think we could work on. West Palm Beach Airport off Australian has a piece that we think is fantastic. Florida Power and Light, we're talking to them about local leasing on some of their land around Okeechobee Road and other options that we'd love to have the conversation with you, that we can get a low rate lease or lease to own opportunity to build our facility in West Palm Beach, because it's such an expensive area and we want to build this for the community, but we have to be obviously cautious of our cash flow that we have. So on the last couple of slides, food security. So it's very important that there are some sites in West Palm Beach that can take waste. Jog Road has an incineration plant that can take 10% of its total max just in the wood waste and manure. And there is Atlas Peat and Soil and a couple of other places, but they cannot handle 200,000 tons of waste per year. And so what we will do is we're going to comply, obviously, with state and federal safety regulations, and we're going to audit every single load that comes from a farm to our facility. We will trace the product using GPS and cameras from farm to facility, and all haulers will have fully covered trucks. The facility will always be over 400 feet from any crops that adheres to GAP, GFSI, and FSM food safety. Our research, and again, just on a small piece here, our research does also show that there'll be no contamination if we were 400 feet from any farm, even if it was on aerosol drift. We're in a covered building, especially to its non-zootonic nature. Horse manure is not associated for E. coli, cross-contamination to crops, where dairy can be. And so far, there's no federal rule that treats mixed stool waste, 70% wood, 30% manure, as hazardous. And the risk is considerably minimal if loads are covered and managed. Environmentally, I wanted to add this quick slide in there, and I think it should be on the 4-page. I just basically put the real highlights on that document you have. We're going to end the dependence on single-use shavings. There's so much trees cut for wood fiber for the horse industry, and we can recycle that product 5 times before it becomes too small, like a dust, and that dust then goes into the bioreactor as the carbon for the fertilizer. We always build to local regions, so we have no transport emissions. We reduce algae blooms by taking out that manure that's going into the canals and spread on fields inadequately in West Palm. And we'll also want to have healthier horses. Our product is actually separated, dried, and then infused with a tree cellulose oil that stops flies from the barns. It stops the ammonia smell. It helps with the breathing of horses and hoof rot and the different hives that happen, especially in Palm Beach County for the horses down there. We'll support regenerative agriculture. with the fertilizer that we produce. We're going to cut emissions, reduce the carbon footprint, and all of this will divert waste from landfills or incineration to support this circular economy. We do have multiple studies. There is 2 links on the handout that shows you can go look at the testimonials. You can look at horses that have been on our bedding for a week. Joe Ostino, who's in racing, Dr. Dorothy Bienzel, the University of Guelph, and we're also going to be doing a study with the University of Florida in Gainesville for the year that we open to actually see how much waste can be removed. What is the horses environment like on the new shavings? And what are the benefits to the community. We have some great equestrian leaders, business leaders, legal counsel. Danny, who is here, looks after all of our partner for Florida. Tracy is our media marketing and HR, who's phenomenal. And we have 2 engineers that are building our facility in once we get it up and running in a site on West Palm Beach. So really, that's what I have. Danny and I are quite happy to answer any questions if you have. But I think the goal of this is to share a little bit about who we were or who we are, and is there an opportunity where we can all work together so we can support a facility build in Palm Beach County, which is a tough place to build, and it's got one of the highest problems because there are 200,000 tons within literally a few mile radius. All that waste is created, and it's just too much for the current solutions. Danny, take it from here, man.
Well, if anyone has any questions, but as Paul was saying, we're looking to interact and form a symbiotic relationship with communities who look upon us as not only a place to handle their waste problems, so to speak, but also looks at what we can produce on the back end to give back to the community. Obviously, with the production of fertilizer with biochar, chemical free, that is something we're trying to introduce into every community that we're involved in, to sort of take care of their fertilizer needs. Again, taking out the chemicals that are currently being used, and also by introducing our recycled bedding back into the community. For every bag that we sell, there's 5 trees that don't have to be chopped down, and it's a healthier product for both the horse and the rider. We're hoping that the equestrian community and the horse community in general just will embrace us and look upon that as being an asset to what they're doing.